Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So today we're going to take a little field trip to a local California mall. And the challenge is this. I mean, this circles way back to the crisis. Not for the crisis, we're probably not talking, but this was really the knockout blow. Brick and mortar was already suffering a lot of blowback courtesy of e-commerce, Amazon, and all these online retailers. We weren't getting out and shopping as much. Well, they really ushered in that climate during lockdowns. We all got pretty much conditioned to do everything from our phone. So this has gone from really bad to worse. And it's really sad because, back in the golden era, and I don't know, I mean, kids these days, this is the only reality they'll know. So this is, we've always remember when our parents were talking about, well, back when we were kids, it was always better back in the day. And the reality is this, though, this is really different than just looking back at a situation that we thought was better. This clearly is getting very harmful. And unfortunately, and I hate to say this, we knew the dust would settle, there would be blowback, and we would pay the piper from stimulating the economy and all the asset classes. Hey everybody, a quick break from the show to bring you today's video sponsor, Bishop Gold. Unpredictable stock market and economic turmoil, gold shines through as a safe haven. Bishop Gold Group, America's trusted precious metals dealer, offers a refuge from financial insecurity. Protect your retirement from the looming threat of taxes and penalties by investing in gold. Don't wait for the next market crash. Now is the time to secure your wealth by converting stocks and retirement funds into gold. Unlike volatile digital assets, holding physical gold puts more security directly in your hands. Trust Bishop Gold Group to guide you through securing your retirement with the stability of precious metals. A big thank you to Bishop Gold Group. All the information will be in the pinned comments and the description of this video. Always be careful when investing. There's always going to be some level of risk. Now let's get back to today's show. Commercial real estate really is what's cratering at the moment all across the nation. But here in California, and this is really, like I said, this is nationwide. This is really worldwide, where malls are just being decimated, I mean, in spectacular fashion. But in California, it's going from bad to worse with things like the $20 minimum wage. Stores now are just cratering even further. And we really need to get stores open back up. We need to get people out there shopping. It's not good for us to be on our phones, isolated. We need to be out and about. And that's why you see back, in the 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s, even the 90s, people were out shopping much more. It wasn't until the 2000s that really ushered in this whole .com climate. And then now, courtesy of the crisis, it's just really taken a massive bite out of our social structure. So everything's going to change, and we got to buckle up and strap in and change as well. But I think at one level, we got to kind of be, forward thinking, critical thinking, because we really want to see these things play out how we should, understanding it, so we're not just necessarily blindsided by these things. But unfortunately, the economy is going to have to suffer some pretty massive blowback. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned now because the amount of commercial real estate that's going empty is going to potentially have another financial crisis attached to it, maybe more bank failures. A lot of this stuff, most of it's attached to banks. I mean, most of it, there's very few commercial properties that are actually bought and paid for. Most of them are all attached to banks. I mean, these are big dollar businesses that always, pull, loans to get these things off the ground. And even with 75% of residential properties having a mortgage attached to them, it's even more with commercial real estate. So to drive our point home, let's go ahead and take a field trip, take a look at a local mall. Then we'll meet back here and wrap this one up. Let's get started. All right, friends, buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, lock your doors, maybe even put on an economic face mask if you can find one. Let's go ahead and head in and see the condition of this mall. And here you go. This thing is looking rough. This is the parking lot to one of the 2-acre stores here in this mall. And there you go. It's a Macy's, a beautiful sunny Southern California day. Midday, it should be hustling and bustling here. Unfortunately, the only thing bustling is a helicopter coming by, checking out what's going on. And unfortunately, friends, this is just all the byproduct of lockdowns. Lockdowns squashed everything. All the retail environment got severely handicap. But unfortunately, it's hard to get tenants to move into malls like this when it's in this type of condition. Here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at this loading bay. I'm sure they're getting a lot of deliveries into this big anchor store and whatever else is servicing this mall, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like it at all. This is absolutely not the best look for a mall. If I was entertaining the idea of moving my store into this mall, I would do a walkthrough of the mall. And if I saw this, I would probably be a little leery of moving in. But here you go. It's a receiving door. And unfortunately, the only thing it's receiving is a shopping cart full of abandoned items. And that's it, man. That's what we got here. Macy's is in big trouble. And like I said, this is pretty much the only anchor store left in this mall. And look at the condition of them. You would have to think they are on borrowed time, which I'm pretty sure I did read that their lease is up in a handful of years and they will be moving out. But here you go across the street. There's apparently a senior center and their windows are boarded up as well. Here's the entrance to the mall, which is pretty much just lined with abandoned vehicles or people living in their vehicles. Now let's go ahead and make our way to the other side of the mall. And this is the other anchor store that used to be there. Unfortunately, that was, I believe, a Sears in Roebuck, which went belly up many years ago. And at one point they were talking about getting maybe a Walmart or a Kmart or somebody in there, but apparently nobody pulled the trigger, which is really shocking to me because this is a town and a city of wealth. There is a lot of money in the city, and this mall used to be the crown jewel of the city. Everybody would come here and hang out. But now it's just a ran down mall that's now struggling to put anybody inside any of the stores. So here you go, the outside of one of the anchor stores. I see here there's some people down there. I believe they're doing ride sharing, maybe an Airbus down to the Los Angeles airport. This is kind of their pickup spot. But look at this, a huge, once bustling mall that's now completely a ghost town. And look at this. This place is just begging for a new anchor store. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they're not putting one in there, which is shocking to me. There's an auto center. This used to be somewhere you could go get your service work done on your auto. And now it's a receiving center for a thrift store, I believe, and donations. And it's really odd to me because I would personally just put another auto center in here and give them very low rent. And I'd do the same thing with my anchor store. I'd put another big box store in there and give them very low rent because they're doing that now for these kind of one-off stores that are not really attracting the type of clientele needed to come shop at one of these malls. When you're putting little donation centers and thrift stores, nobody's going to race over to visit this mall. But here you go. Let's walk around a little more and just take a look at the condition of our mall. And as we can see here, it's on a busy street, a lot of passers-by, but unfortunately, it's now become more of an eyesore than an asset. That is a country club across the street with world-class golf. There is no reason this mall shouldn't be catering to a upper-end clientele, but unfortunately, that is not the case anymore. This place is virtually a ghost town and collapsing on itself. Really, when you really look at this thing, it's in pretty poor shape, but a beautiful day nonetheless. Let's go ahead and make our way down and take a look inside the mall, because inside the mall, the stores between the two anchor stores, those are the stores that really rely on the foot traffic the two anchor stores are designed to bring in. That's the way these malls are always designed. An anchor store on opposing ends of the mall, and then the small shops in between. So when you go from one anchor store to the next, you're going to hopefully pop in and go, oh, honey, look at this. Let's pop in here and buy whatever. But right now, we're not getting any of that. We're getting exactly the opposite. So here we go. Again, just riffraff, no trespassing signs, and an empty anchor store to boot. And that does not look inviting to anybody to come visit this mall. So here we go. We're inside now the mall that we can see the stores in between the two anchor stores. And here we go. There's a Massage Envy right there next to some doggy bags for your dog, because most people here now are just walking through to get some exercise and walk their dogs than actually shop. But I was blown away. There was two people in Massage Envy just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, the employees. And for personally, what I think they should do to this place is canopy it with LED lights and light it up like a Christmas tree at night so it looks like Vegas or something. I mean, you got to do something to wake this place up. They're trying to put some toys and things in the sidewalks or in the center of the mall to try to make it look fun and playful, but unfortunately, it's not very lively. So personally, I think they need to get music, lights, do something. It'd be cheap to do. Lights set to music would be awesome, especially at night, and people would probably flock to this mall. But unfortunately, what they're doing now is just putting random stores or shops or businesses into these spaces, and they're not attracting any business. And when you don't have anchor stores producing cross traffic, you're virtually just dead in the water. But look at this place, an absolutely beautiful mall. And I remember as a kid, this was the place to be. 7 days a week, 365, there was always people in this mall. It was packed, and it's really absurd to see it this empty now. And like I said, I mean, here's some people. Do they look like they're about ready to go drop some big cash in one of these stores? I don't think so. Most of them are just walking around, meandering around, looking around, basically. This guy, I don't think he's going to go spend a bunch of money, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I think he's walking his dog, but didn't want to get in his way, that's for sure. But he seemed like a nice enough guy. Anyway, let's keep going and see what else we can find. Maybe we'll see some other people that look like they're high-end shoppers and they've come here to do some big shopping spree. And that's another thing I've seen with this place. Has a couple of these, there's a couple guys, maybe they're about to spend money. There's a couple places that are these big hair salon type of places, but I never see anybody in there. In fact, I think it's by appointment only. But the point is here, friends, this is basically malls all across America. I have another mall downtown in my city that pretty much is doing the same thing. We'll get down there in the future and see how it compares to this one. I believe both their anchor stores are gone, though. And this one is downtown where they shut off the streets to vehicle traffic, and it's really handicapped them even further. This place does have a Macy's right here, and then next to it is a Ruth Chris Steakhouse, which is pretty much the only two stores worth visiting, in my opinion. Everybody else is virtually empty, and even this Macy's, the sheer size of it, is not getting the amount of people in there to have it be profitable. And I would be surprised if the Ruth Chris Steakhouse is as well. Luckily, there is some nice areas around this mall where some of the wealthy would come to Ruth Chris, but that's pretty much what we got. Now let's get back to the studio and wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back, and there you go. That's just a little sneak peek of one of the malls in my town. There's two in big, big trouble, and I've been all across the state, and I've seen malls behaving just like that in worse shape than the one we looked at today. This one's trying its hardest. Unfortunately, without anchor stores that are bringing in significant traffic, nobody in those smaller stores are going to do any business. This thing's basically going to get bulldozed and turned into a parking lot at some point, because the chance of them being able to reassign it and turn it into mixed use or commercial, it's going to be a lot of red tape, years and years to get it done. And it's just a big uphill battle. So unfortunately, things might have to get worse before they get better. Things are clearly changing. I just want to congratulate anybody that's watching today, because I know a lot of people, they see this stuff, but they really don't pay attention to it. I remember in 2008, I really didn't understand a lot of this stuff because I'd never lived through an economic downturn before as a bill-paying adult or suffered a little of its blowback. Now the warning signs are screaming red alert. I'm glad I'm awake right now. I'm glad you're awake. I'd rather be prepared for something and have it not happen than have something happen and not be prepared. Insulate yourself to the best of your ability. Make sure you can weather a storm. And then once the dust settles, then we can go reevaluate and see what makes sense and what doesn't. In terms of your real estate, every place is different. Some places are going to do just fine. Others are going to take massive hits. That's just the way real estate cycles, the way real estate is local. But that's why I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video. And there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless. I'll see you on the next video. Need a top agent in your area? Email ScottWaltersRealestate at gmail today.